Do you remember the feeling at school right after all the students had gone home? The empty hallways, the flickering lights, and that strange sense that something was watching you from far away? During the day, school might be full of laughter, but at night it turns into a silent maze where you can't quite tell if you're walking alone or if someone is quietly following right behind you. Story 1. The Twins by the Graveyard. A chilling encounter in Pennsylvania. Not everyone who smiles at you is someone you should trust. My name's Ethan. I had just transferred to Jefferson High, a small-town high school in Pennsylvania. Junior year, that painfully awkward, emotionally fragile age where all you want is to fit in. I didn't know a single soul. Every day felt like walking through fog alone. But the worst part? Lunchtime. See, our school had this weird policy. Only seniors were allowed to leave campus during lunch. Juniors like me were trapped in the suffocating cafeteria where every table was already claimed by tight-knit cliques. I'd walk in with a tray of lukewarm food, scanning the sea of faces, hoping, just hoping for a place to sit. Every seat was taken, except one table in the far corner. The lights above it flickered weakly, like they didn't dare shine there. Sitting at that table were two students, identical twins. Their faces were pale, their eyes sunken and hollow like deep wells. I hesitated, then slowly walked up. "Hey, mind if I sit with you?" I asked, voice almost cracking. The two of them exchanged a long, silent look before one of them finally nodded. "Sure," he said. "The more, the merrier." Their names were Logan and Lucas. They lived near the forest on the west side of town. Something about them was off, but they were the first people who didn't ignore me, so I clung to that sliver of kindness. We talked a little, and then Lucas invited me to hang out with them that night, at the old cemetery near their place. "Nothing weird," he said, grinning. "Just some nighttime chilling under the moon." I hesitated, but said yes. I didn't want to lose my first chance at having friends. That night, Lucas texted me the location, a small dirt road that ran alongside the graveyard. The wind howled through the trees and the old streetlight above me buzzed and flickered like something out of a bad horror movie. Then came another text. "We're in the woods near the lake. Bring a flashlight." I turned on my phone light and stepped into the darkness. The deeper I went, the more the world around me faded. Just the crunch of leaves and the chirp of unseen insects. I called out, "Lucas? Logan? Where are you guys?" No answer. Then, footsteps. Slow at first, then faster, closer, rushing toward me. Before I could turn around, a cold hand clamped around my neck. Nails, sharp and jagged, dug into my skin, cutting off my breath. I thrashed and kicked. Then a voice shrieked, manic and high-pitched, "Hold him down!" Adrenaline surged through me. I managed to break free and took off running, crashing through the underbrush. I didn't dare look back. I just ran until I saw the glow of the streetlights and collapsed on the sidewalk, gasping for air. When I got home, I told my parents everything. They were horrified. We went to the school with a text from Lucas. A few days later, both Logan and Lucas were expelled. My parents made me block their numbers. I didn't argue. They asked me something I hadn't thought of. "Do you think they know where we live?" I said no. I was wrong. 1 week later, 2:13 a.m., I woke up freezing. Not just cold, freezing. My room was like an icebox, and when I opened my eyes, the window was wide open. I could have sworn I locked it. Just below the window was the emergency ledge. My dad had once told me to use it if there was ever a fire, but tonight it felt like someone had used it to climb in. The air smelled like cold dirt and blood. I tiptoed to my parents' room. "Mom, did you open my window?" She shook her head. Dad groaned, half asleep. "Ethan, go back to bed. Stop freaking yourself out." When I returned to my room, the door was no longer wide open like I'd left it. It was slightly ajar, as if someone had come in and then left quietly. I held my breath and pushed the door open. Someone was standing behind it, tall, thin, motionless. My heart stopped. "Ah!" I screamed for my dad. The door slammed shut. Dad came running. We both saw it. Someone climbing out my window. Just one leg slipping down the ledge. My dad gave chase, but it was too late. The only thing left behind was laughter. Low, mocking, echoing through the night. The police came. They found a muddy footprint on the window ledge. That was it. No leads, no suspects. Just a warning, install cameras, lock everything. But I knew. It was them. One of them. Maybe both. And they wanted me. I spent the next few months living in fear. Couldn't sleep with the lights off. Every gust of wind felt like footsteps. Every creak made me wonder if someone was at my window, watching, waiting. But the part that still haunts me the most? I still don't know why they picked me. Why me, or worse? Was I just the first? Story 2, The Substitute Gym Teacher, a memory I wish never happened. There are some things that happen in high school that stick with you forever, not because they're beautiful, but because they make your skin crawl every time you remember. I was a freshman at a public high school in Ohio. The school was pretty big, with its own sports complex and a separate girls' locker room tucked behind the gym. That day, during our last period, PE, we were told we'd have a substitute teacher. He walked onto the court with this slow, stiff gait, an older man, maybe in his 50s, with graying hair and pale skin, like he hadn't seen the sun in years. His eyes scanned the class, but when he got to my name, Madison Blake, he stopped. Once, then again. Stared longer the second time. Something about the way he looked at me sent a chill down my spine, like he was trying to see through me, past my skin, my clothes, deep into my mind. I knew I looked a bit more mature than some of the other girls my age, but that stare, it wasn't normal. He told the class to play volleyball and then disappeared. No one cared much. Subs vanish all the time. Maybe he went to grab coffee or took a nap somewhere. Typical, but I should have known. This wasn't typical at all. After class, I headed to the locker room. Most of the girls had already left. I went to open my locker, but it wouldn't budge. I tried again. And again, wrong code. Even though I knew I had the right one. Panicking a little, I left to find the sub. I spotted him in the hallway and said quickly, "I think someone messed with my locker. Can you help me open it?" He smiled, a weird, hazy kind of smile. "Of course. Just wait here a second. I need to grab the combo book." A few minutes later, he came back with a thin notebook. But instead of heading toward the girls' locker room, he started walking toward the old abandoned locker area at the end of the hall. "They're fixing some pipes in the other room," he said. "We'll use this one for now." I hesitated, but all I wanted was to grab my stuff and get out of there. The room he led me to was darker than usual. Flickering lights, stained, moldy walls. I pointed to my locker. He crouched down to try the combo. Once, didn't work. Twice, still nothing. Then, he turned to me and smiled again. His hand rested on my shoulder, then slowly slid down my back. I flinched and mumbled, "It's okay. I'll just ask one of the staff to help instead." He acted like he didn't hear me and tried one more time. This time, it opened. I quickly thanked him and waited for him to leave the room. As soon as he was out of sight, I changed in a rush, my hands shaking. I just wanted to get out of there. But just as I was pulling up my pants, the lights went out, pitch black. My heart pounded so loud it drowned out the rain outside. I fumbled toward the back exit, the emergency door, and that's when I saw him. He was crouched behind the last row of lockers watching me, through the gap. I screamed and ran, bolted out of the building, into the pouring rain, not daring to look back. I ran all the way home soaking wet, my chest ready to burst. That night I curled up in my room, trembling. I didn't tell my parents, didn't tell my friends, not a soul, partly out of fear, partly shame, and maybe because I wasn't sure anyone would believe me. But now looking back, I know he changed my locker code on purpose. It was planned, it was a trap. Only I was the lucky prey that got away.